Well, good evening. Thank you very much for tuning in. We have got a volleyball broadcast coming your way. I am your broadcaster for the night, Ethan Smith-Senna. Thank you very much for tuning in here on KVAY, be it on the radio at 105.7 FM on your radio dials, or on our YouTube and Facebook pages for our live video streaming. We have got a High Plains League volleyball matchup between the home team Kit Carson Lady Wildcats and the visiting Lady Tigers from Cheyenne Wells. This is the Scooters Coffee Game of the Week. Scooters Coffee invites all sports fans to stop by 1231 North Main Street in Lamar today and enjoy specialty coffee, iced drinks, blenders, smoothies, teas, and baked-from-scratch pastries and more. Their convenient and fast drive-thru will get you in and out and onto the ball game. Scooters Coffee, amazing people, serving amazing drinks amazingly fast. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and then we're back here on KVAY for the pregame show back in 1 minute to bring you the pregame for Kit Carson hosting Cheyenne Wells volleyball. Getting ready to bring you a volleyball broadcast. Thank you very much for tuning in this evening as we have got Kit Carson playing against Cheyenne Wells here at Kit Carson School. This is the pregame show brought to you by Tri-State Body Shop. Chad and his team at Tri-State Body Shop are proud supporters of high school athletics and wish both teams the best of luck. Tri-State Body Shop in Lamar, known for great quality work when it comes to things like auto body repair, painting, auto service, and windshield replacement, just to name a few. Tri-State Body Shop, 204 West Poplar in Lamar, always striving to take care of all your auto body repair needs. Big thank you to them for bringing us our pregame show. First off, for the home team, Kit Carson Lady Wildcats heading into this game, 7-12 overall on the season. 0-3 in league play, once again a league matchup. When it comes to sets won and lost, winning 26, losing 39, currently ranked 34th in the state in Class 1A. Well, the visiting team from Cheyenne Wells, 7-9 heading into this game, so both with the same amount of wins, just Kit Carson with 3 more games played, thus 3 more losses. Cheyenne Wells, though, also 0-3 in league play. They're 1-7 in their last 8. They started off pretty strong for the season, but this little middle portion's been getting them. When it comes to sets won and lost, they've won 26, lost 31. Cheyenne Wells currently ranked 23rd in the state. Last time these two teams played each other was last year, which saw Cheyenne Wells win 3-0. When it comes to shared opponents, check that out. They both played Wiley, Walsh, Sharam, McClave, Genoa, Hugo, Carville, and Burlington. Both sharing similar results, both able to take down those Wiley and Walsh teams, but falling to everybody else at similar results. But yeah, lovely evening here in Kit Carson. You know, good bit of fans here on both sides. Thank you for tuning in. Got a lovely view here at the Crow's Nest. You know, got a nice eagle eye view. Big thank you to Arc Valley Vision Care of Lamar and Lahana for bringing me my view. Are dry, itchy, or even watery eyes making daily tasks difficult? Well, Arc Valley Vision Care can help. Talk to them about your symptoms, and if prescription medication and eye drops can help, Arc Valley Vision Care has you covered. They're just a phone call away. Relief is in sight. In Lamar, 336-3111, and in Lahana, 383-0134. Arc Valley Vision Care, your clear choice for clear vision. Big thank you to them for bringing me my beautiful view today. Going to take another 1 minute break, then we're back here on KVAY back in 1 minute as we'll have a Kit Carson hosting Cheyenne Wells in volleyball action coming your way shortly. It is a lovely Monday evening here, a rare Monday volleyball broadcast coming your way. I'm your broadcaster, Ethan Smith-Senna, here at the Kit Carson School. As you're tuning into KVAY, thank you for tuning in, be it on the radio or on our YouTube and Facebook pages for live video streaming. Game's soon to get underway. Still got a few minutes before that takes place. Cheyenne Wells at Kit Carson. Cheyenne Wells. Cheyenne Wells, 1-7 in their last 8. Started off very strong. Started the season off 6-2. Very solid record, but this little middle stretch has been getting them as actually we're entering the last few games of play for both these teams. Cheyenne Wells 7-2 heading into this game. They got 5 more games after this with their season ender being against Holly on the 28th. While Kit Carson 7-12 heading into this game, have 3 games left with their season ender also being on the 28th when they play at Otis. So both these teams 0-3 heading into this league matchup. Like I was saying earlier, all their shared opponents sharing the same results. Both teams taking out those Walsh and Wiley teams and sharing similar results against Raw, McClave, Genoa, Hugo, Carville, and Burlington. Right now, though, Kit Carson on a 2-game winning streak. Called one of those games, did I? Recently, they took down Levita over the weekend in 3 sets. And that last Monday, Kit Carson back-to-back Monday games. That's something that you can never really get used to. But they took down Wiley in 5 sets last week. I had the call for that. That was a good one as they were down 2-0, never gave up, and brought it back for the reverse sweep. So Kit Carson, resilient team. While Cheyenne Wells haven't called any of their games since the second game of the season for them when they hosted South Baca and made a quick work of a solid South Baca team in just 3 sets. That South Baca team now 15-4. Very solid over there for them. But Cheyenne Wells, very strong start. Petered out a little here in the middle of the season, but looking to bring it back. For their last 6 games of the season. As league matchup here, both teams 0-3, tied for 5th place in the High Plains League standings. Both 0-3. Both winning just 1 set in those league matchups, and it was against Sharaf for each of them, while losing 9 others. So, pretty similar matchups, on their shared opponents record. But looking at their rankings, Kit Carson ranked 34th, while Cheyenne Wells ranked 23rd. Now, Kit Carson bringing a pretty young team, 10 players on that team, majority of them being underclassmen. And they got just 1 senior on the whole squad. That's Shay Rady, who's put in great work here at Kit Carson. Kit Carson seems to be in their breast cancer awareness jerseys today, which is always a treat to see those. While they're visiting Cheyenne Wells Tigers in black jerseys with the orange lettering and trim. As game soon to get underway. Thank you to Arc Valley Vision Care, Lamar and Lahana for bringing me my view. Excuse me, those were just the warm-ups for Kit Carson. They'll be in their classic white jerseys with the purple and gold trim. You know, it's cool to see them with the breast cancer awareness gear. You know, on the Cheyenne Wells side too. You know, everybody's got the arm sleeves and the ankle socks. So pretty neat to see there. Game soon to get underway. We got the national anthem coming our way here pretty soon. Big thank you to Bison Title Company. The Star Spangled Banner sponsored by D. Melgosa and the staff at Bison Title Company. One flag, one land, one heart, one hand, one nation, under God forevermore. Bison Title Company, proudly serving your abstract and real estate title needs. We're going to take a break for the national anthem here on KVAY. Thank you very much for tuning in. This evening we have got a volleyball broadcast coming your way. Will be the home team Kit Carson Lady Wildcats hosting the visiting Lady Tigers from Cheyenne Wells. Thank you very much for tuning in. Getting ready to bring you the starting lineups powered by Evergreen Electric. Electrical needs are something you don't mess around with. It's something you'd leave to the professionals like Evergreen Electric. Doing business locally, they can take care of just about all your electrical needs while staying on top of the latest trends in custom lighting, security lighting, and LED lighting. You can contact Davey at 719-691-1872 or Bowman at 719-353-2410. Here are your starting lineups powered by Evergreen Electric. So for the visiting Cheyenne Wells Lady Tigers, senior Aubrey Carroll wearing number 4, senior Serenity Worley wearing number 5, senior Athena Ball wearing number 7, senior Elia Muth wearing number 10, junior Callie Ball wearing number 14, Bailey Sheeler, sophomore, wearing number 22. Game officially underway as Cheyenne Wells too far on the shot, goes out of bounds. Will be a point for the Kit Carson Lady Wildcats. Their starters this evening. First off serving here will be Avery Johnson, the junior, wearing number 15. Also starting Shay Rady, the senior, wearing number 3. Ava Oswald, the freshman, wearing number 9. Chelsea Golding, the sophomore, wearing number 10. Kyra Gaynor, the sophomore, wearing number 11. And Elizabeth Kent, the freshman, wearing number 12. And Skylar Watson, their libero today. Thank you to Evergreen Electric for bringing us our starting lineup. Avery Johnson with a strong serve. Cheyenne Wells, over in 3 by Carroll. Popped high up, right at the net, though. There to slam it down is number 5, Serenity Worley. Slamming it down right there at the net. First point of the game for Cheyenne Wells. Scoreboard reads 2-1 on the Prowers Medical Center scoreboard. Thank you to them for sponsoring our scoreboard. Serve there by Carroll. Receiving the back by Golding. Strong kill attempt by Rady. No dice. As miscommunication, 3 players for Cheyenne Wells there. I'll go for it a little too late. Point for Kit Carson, as now getting ready to serve number 12, the freshman Elizabeth Kent. Thank you for tuning in here on the radio, or if you're tuning in on our live video streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Third hit, great kill attempt there, and she gets it as number 7, Athena Ball. As looking at the makeup of these teams for the visiting Cheyenne Wells Tigers, no libero on their squad, but also 4 seniors in the starting lineup. Kill attempt, receiving the back. Now Muth setting up number 14. Callie Ball with the big kill there for Cheyenne Wells to tie it up 3 points apiece on the Prowers Medical Center scoreboard. Serving here, Serenity Worley of the Lady Tigers, receiving the back by Watson. Johnson at the net, setting up Rady. Oh, but they're saying Johnson getting under the net, foot touching the line there. Point for the Lady Tigers. As Worley, Serenity Worley for Cheyenne Wells with the serve, received by Watson. Johnson setting up Golding left side, pops it over a little too strong. 4 straight points for Cheyenne Wells, gives them the lead 5-3 here in the first set. Serve there, received, popped up. Here comes third hit, will be bumped over safely by Johnson, receiving the back. Cheyenne Wells ball. Here comes third hit left side, but into the net by number 14, Callie Ball. Point for Kit Carson to cut their deficit to just 1 early here in the first set. Coming to serve, number 11, Kyra Gaynor. Served by her. Received. Here comes third hit. Strong by Carroll. Received in the back. Rady trying to keep it alive. Unable to. Another strong kill for Aubrey Carroll. It has some strong spikes that, every team struggles with. Getting ready to serve here are the Cheyenne Wells Lady Tigers. They lead this game 6-4 here in the first set. Serve there. Now third hit, too strong by Cheyenne Wells, goes out of bounds. Point for Cheyenne Wells. Currently serving here, number 15, Brinley Heil, the freshman. Been bringing her in for serving purposes here in this season. As she will get an ace. Good work by Heil to double up Kit Carson's points. Cheyenne Wells leads 8-4 here in the first set. Brinley Heil serve. Received by Johnson. Watson pops it up. Bumped over and 3 by Rady. Received in the back. Cheyenne Wells setting up their third hit. Callie Ball popping it right over the blockers. 9-4, 5-point lead for Cheyenne Wells here on a rare Monday night volleyball game. Serve there by Heil. Received, awkward reception. As once again, Rady's just barely stepping over the line. 10-4. Cheyenne Wells leads this game. Head coach Jacobs of Kit Carson takes a timeout. We're going to take one with them. We're back in 30 seconds here on KVAY. It is a Monday evening as you're tuning in. Thank you very much for listening. As I'm here in Kit Carson bringing you a High Plains League volleyball matchup. Kit Carson 7-12, 0-3 in league play. Cheyenne Wells 7-9, also 0-3 in league play. High Plains, a pretty tough league with McClave, Grenada, and Sherrod leading the way there. Game back in action as we come out of the Eads Consumer Supply timeout. As hit over in 3 by Golding is fair. Now Muth setting up number 14, Callie Ball left side. But Callie Ball going over the net that time. Point for Kit Carson to cut their deficit to 5. Getting ready to serve here, number 3, the lone senior in the whole Kit Carson program, Shea Rady. Serve there, too strong though, service error. Point for Cheyenne Wells, the visiting Tigers from not too far away. Serve there, received. Good kill attempt by Kit Carson, but once again too strong, goes out of bounds. 12-5 is the score here in the first set. Cheyenne Wells leading this game. Serve there, received by Johnson. Rady setting up Johnson coming in, pops it right over the defense. That one just barely up and in. kill for Avery Johnson on the assist from Shea Rady. 6-12 is the score. Kit Carson trailing by 6 here in the first set. Serve there. Up and over now on the Kit Carson side. Rady high up. Here comes number 12, Kent, going for that back corner, and she just gets it. Does Elizabeth Kent. Good work by her for the kill. As now served there by number 10, Tressie Golding, and that'll be an ace for Golding, bringing Kit Carson back slowly but surely here in the very first set. 12-8, Kit Carson serving for him is sophomore Tressie Golding. Serve there, received in the backside, popped over in 3 by Heil. Shea Rady backwards set, and Tressie Golding into the net though, point for Cheyenne Wells. Hey, let's thank KC Electric, Vince's GM in Burlington, and Keefe Memorial Hospital. Thank you to our sponsors, and thank you to them for sponsoring this specific sports broadcast. Serve there by the sophomore Sheeler. Here comes third hit right down the middle and sends it on the right sideline. Good kill. Good work by Avery Johnson. You know, a big threat coming from the Kit Carson Lady Wildcats. As getting ready to serve will be the libero, Skylar Watson. We're at number 5 for him. Serve there. Too strong. Will be point for Cheyenne Wells as they retake a 5-point lead, 14-9. Substitution for the Lady Tigers. Brindley Heil going to the bench, coming in for number 7, Athena Ball. Served by Muth. Received by Rady. Now here comes third hit right side. Popped over by Kent. Back over in 1. Back in 1 on the Cheyenne Wells side now. Elia Muth. Send him number 4, Carroll driving in. A strong attack for that back corner. 6-point lead for Cheyenne Wells. Let's also thank Gabe Roth Farm Bureau Insurance Agency, CNK Oil, and Wendy Dickey Insurance Agency. Thank you to them for sponsoring this specific sports broadcast. Cheyenne Wells at Kit Carson still in the first set, but about halfway through. Here comes third hit. Too strong by Worley. Point for Kit Carson as they trail 10-15. Now back to the service line. Avery Johnson of Kit Carson. Serve there. Received by Cheyenne Wells. And then there to dunk it for a second was Rady. Not able to handle it is Cheyenne Wells. Point for Kit Carson. Serving for the home team, Lady Wildcats, number 15, Avery Johnson. Strong jump serve from the right side. Received high up. Elia Muth popping up. Here comes third hit. A little miscommunication, but Athena Ball. Oh, you got to be careful of the roofs when you are serving, or when you're trying to send back those hard balls to maintain, as hits the roof rafters and just drops back on down. Substitution as Kelly Ball going to the bench. Coming in is Rory Unruh. Now served by Johnson, just a little outside. Good awareness by Unruh to just back up, let it go out, be a service error. Point for Cheyenne Wells. They lead 16-12 here in the first set. Another substitution, Callie Ball coming back in for Unruh. As number 4, Aubrey Carroll with the serve. Received by Watson. Now here comes third hit, Shea Rady, but into the net there. Coming in from the left side. Cheyenne Wells keeping a consistent 5-point lead here. Hey, let's also thank Cheyenne Wells Lumber, Kent Electric in Kit Carson, and T Cattle Feed and Supply here in Kit Carson. Thank you to them for sponsoring this specific sports broadcast. Appreciate your support. As you know, a good bit of Cheyenne Wells points have been Kit Carson, going for ambitious kills and just barely getting them outside, making them go out of bounds. That's about 4 or 5 points have been scored for Cheyenne Wells. As that will be an ace, though, for the visiting Lady Tigers. They're now closer to winning than Kit Carson is to catching up. They lead 19-12 here in the first set. Coach Jacobs taking the second timeout of the day. 12-19. Kit Carson trails by 7 on the scoreboard. We're going to take a 30-second break here on KVAY, and then we're back with some more volleyball. We are about to resume coverage here in the first set of this Varsity High Plains League volleyball game. Home team Kit Carson Lady Wildcats hosting the visiting Lady Tigers, coming from not too far away in Cheyenne, Wells. As we come out of the Eats Consumer Supply timeout, that one was called by head coach Jacobs. Now here comes a serve. Serve there by Carroll, received by Rady. Johnson setting up, Rady coming in, just popping it over. Great work there from Rady and Johnson. So point for Kit Carson, staying alive. Like I was saying, last game of theirs I called was last Monday against Wiley. They were down 2-0, but came back for a reverse sweep. So, I know that these Lady Wildcats are resilient. These Lady Tigers are a very strong team as they're to slam it down. Serenity Worley in the open space to give Cheyenne Wales a comfortable 7-point lead here in the first set, 20-13. Serenity Worley now at the service line. Serve there, received, almost aced, but over in 3 by Johnson, received by Muth. Popped up, but an awkward reception there by Sheeler. Goes out of bounds, keeps Kit Carson still in the game, just alive. As Watson goes to the bench, in comes Ava Oswald. Serve there by Kit Carson. And Cheyenne Wells barely able to pop it over in 3. Setting up Rady left side, a little too close to the net, but Rady stepping over once again. That's the third time it's happened here in the first set. As Oswald going to the bench, or as Gaynor now going to the bench, coming in for her, Skylar Watson. Substitution for Cheyenne Wells. Number 7, Athena Ball going to the bench, coming in for Brindley Heil for serving purposes. Served by Heil. Received by Johnson. Rady setting up Johnson. Setting up Golding, but they're calling a little bit of a carry there on Rady. 8-point lead for Cheyenne Wells. 3 points away from winning this first set. Serving here is number 15, the freshman Brindley Heil. Standing serve, pops it over. Received by Oswald. Now third hit, set over in 3 by Johnson on the Cheyenne Wells side. Heil setting up number 14, Callie Ball, partially blocked. Great dig by Rady to keep it alive. Third hit, Golding pops it over on the Cheyenne Wells side. Awkward reception by Muth, but she's keeping him alive. Over in 3 by Heil, received by Kent. Over in 2, great dig. Back in 1. Back and forth, Cheyenne Wells side. Here comes their third hit, little miscommunication. Bumps it over, bumps it back over, does Kent. Great awareness in the back by Worley to just let that one go. She was just about half a second away from reaching for it, but good awareness. 23-14, Cheyenne Wells 2 points away from taking the first set. Serve there by Heil, received by Watson, the libero. Here comes third hit, number 9. Oswald sends it that way and gets a big kill. Set up there by Johnson. So 15-23. Kit Carson serving for him, the lone senior, Shea Rady, as they trail by 8 points deep in the first set. Serve by Rady, received in the back. Miscommunication as they just kind of moved it out of the way where the ball was, as that'll be an ace for Shea Rady. Second ace on the day for Kit Carson, as they trail 16-23, looking to bring it back. But Cheyenne Wells just need 2 more points. Very solid closing team are the Lady Tigers. Popping it over is Muth. Backward set. Johnson, strong attack. A great dig by Cheyenne Wells, but just can't control it. Goes out of bounds. But, good work by the freshman, Brindley Heil. Putting in great work. Yeah, that's a big, difference between these teams. Cheyenne Wells a good bit older, 4 of their 6 starters being seniors, while the home team, Kit Carson Lady Wildcats, over half their team, their entire high school makeup is made out of underclassmen. Kill attempt, great dig, though, by Kent. Going for the kill, it was Johnson. Blocked, though, at the net by Callie Ball to give Cheyenne Wells set point 24-17 here on the scoreboard. Thank you to Once Was in Kit Carson and the Bin Inn in Kit Carson for sponsoring this specific sports broadcast. Service error, though, by Callie Ball. Give point to Kit Carson. They trail 18-24 here in the first set. Serving now, Tressie Golding. Served by Golding. Received. Heil. Setting up number 4, Aubrey Carroll. dig in the back by Golding. Popped up by Watson. Over and 3 by Johnson. Third hit, Cheyenne Wells. Carroll once again, that time strikes pay dirt. 25-18. Cheyenne Wells wins the first set by 7 points here on the Prowers Medical Center scoreboard. We are currently in between sets. Would like to give a big thank you to Peacock Funeral Home for sponsoring our in-between sets. Visit 209 South 4th Street in Lamar or call 336-2234. Peacock Funeral Home, your trusted partner in times of need. After one set of play, scoreboard reads 25-18 in favor of the visiting Cheyenne Wells Lady Tigers. Kit Carson getting up, trying to catch up there near the end, but Cheyenne Wells just kept a consistent about 5 to 7 point margin lead on Kit Carson the whole night, or the whole first set. So good work by the visiting Lady Tigers to take the first set. Could see it being a sweep, could see it going to 5 sets. Don't really know. They're pretty evenly matched, so we just got to see how the momentum flows and shifts throughout the game. Going to take a 1-minute break, and then I'm back to bring you some more volleyball action here on KVOY. Back in 1 minute. It is a Monday night, and we have got a league volleyball game here. Kit Carson hosting Cheyenne Wells. Both teams 0-3 in league play. Somebody's got to get their first league win of the season. And it's looking like it's favoring Cheyenne Wells as they take care of business in that first set, 25-18 against Kit Carson. Thank you very much for tuning in here on KVAY. I'm your broadcaster, Ethan Smith-Senna, on a rare Monday night game. And hey, be sure to tune in here on KVAY tomorrow as I'll have the call for Eads at McClave in some varsity volleyball action around a 5:30, 6 p.m. start time tomorrow. So be sure to watch out for that. But right now, Kit Carson hosting Cheyenne Wells. Let's thank some sponsors like Hoffman Insurance Agency, Garden City Regional Airport, and Rancher Supply of Lamar and La Junta. Thank you to all our sponsors. We appreciate your support. As we're coming out of the in-between sets break. Serving first for the home team Lady Wildcats will be Avery Johnson. Avery Johnson serving here. Both teams getting ready to go. Kit Carson in white jerseys with purple and gold trim, while Cheyenne Wells in the black jerseys with the orange trim. Home team Wildcats hosting the visiting Tigers with Cheyenne Wells in the lead 1-0. Second set officially underway. Jump serve by Johnson. Able to corral it in. Over and 3 by Sheeler. Good work. An awkward reception. Strong kill attempt by Rady, but just hasn't been getting those today. As serving here, Aliyah Muth for the Cheyenne Wells Lady Tigers. They take the first point of the second set. They lead the game 1-0. Received by Golding. And Johnson setting up Rady coming in left side. Strong kill attempt. Rady, man, she's got some vicious strikes there. Good work to tie it up early here in the second set. At the service line, Elizabeth Kent, the freshman. Serve there, receiving the back by Sheeler. Lymuth running, setting it up for number 4, Aubrey Carroll going opposite. Great digs, way to get it over. And getting the kill there is Shay Rady as Kent and Johnson with some wonderful digs. Thought that ball was way too far down for them to get there, but excellent digs. Kit Carson takes an early lead 2-1. And they're getting hyped up. Though Cheyenne Wells gets it past the blockers with a strong kill. Does number 5, Serenity Worley. Gets it past the two blockers there to tie it up 2-2 here in the second set. Let's thank some more sponsors like People's Credit Union of Lamar and Springfield, Colorado Mills, Cheyenne County Abstract and Cheyenne Wells, and Cook Oil Fuel Services in Walsh. Thank all our sponsors as a Kit Carson player running it into the net there. Point for Cheyenne Wells. Aubrey Carroll with the serve. Go for that back corner. Received by Watson. Johnson set up number 10 Golding. Bouncing off the net. Great reception by Cheyenne Wells. Their third hit. Aubrey Carroll from the middle. Receiving the back by Kent. Johnson setting up Rady on the back foot on the Cheyenne Wells side. Third hit. Callie Ball. Awkward footing. Gets a shot off. Kit Carson's got it. Here comes their third hit. Bumped over and 3 just barely by Rady. Now third hit down the middle. Partially blocked, but getting another kill. Number 5, Serenity Worley. Letting Kit Carson know that's her territory. Let's thank some more sponsors like the historic Cow Palace Inn, Lamar Auto Parts, and J&N Shoes and Mr. D Sports. Thank you to our sponsors. Served by Carroll. Reception by Watson. Here comes third hit. Golding coming in, and that'll be a big kill for Tressie Golding of Kit Carson to cut the deficit to just 1 point here on the scoreboard. Skylar Watson subs out, coming in for Kyra Gaynor at the service line. The sophomore pops it just over. Great dig by Sheeler, but couldn't get enough control on it as an ace by Gaynor knots the teams up at 4 each here in the second set. Cheyenne Wells, though, does lead the game 1-0. Serve there, dug up. Oh, and that'll be another ace for Kyra Gaynor. Back to back there. Let's thank some more sponsors like Da Vinci Physical Therapy, Brew and Others, A1 Rental and Sales, and GN Bank Lamar Needs. Thank you to our sponsors. Here comes third hit. Callie Ball pops it over in that back corner. There to receive it is Gaynor. Third hit. Rady coming in and gets a strong kill as Kit Carson feeling the momentum here. Great assist by Johnson. Bumping it backwards to where she knew Rady was coming. There's another serve by Gaynor. You know, those are good pace setters for Kit Carson here in the second set. Received by Johnson. Here comes third hit at the middle. Popping it off the net. That'll be a kill for number 9, Ava Oswald. So just like that, Kit Carson was down 4-2. Now they lead 7-4 here in the second set. Riding the momentum of Kyra Gaynor's first couple of aces. Everybody's feeling it here at Kit Carson. Serve, receive, popped high up. Muth looking to set up all on the right side. Kit Carson, a little unlucky, hitting the basketball hoop up there, but they get it over in 3, courtesy of Johnson. Muth, backward set, setting up Athena Ball off the hands of the blockers. Big kill for Athena Ball. Cheyenne Wells trying to take down Kit Carson's momentum. And serving for the visiting Tigers is Serenity Worley. Quick serve right down the middle, but will be a service ace or service error. 8-5, Kit Carson leads this second set. Now serving the senior Shea Rady. Let's thank some more sponsors like Cook's Floor & Wall, Community Insurance Agency, Tri-County Ford, and Coberly Realty. Thank you to our sponsors. As Cheyenne Wells wins the first set 25-18, keeping a solid lead the entire set. But right now, Kit Carson taking the early lead. Third hit, Carroll going for that back corner. Too strong, though. Kit Carson now in the lead, 9-5 here in the first set. Head coach Jacobs for Kit Carson calling 2 timeouts in the first half, or in the first set, while head coach Hill for Cheyenne Wells, not calling any timeouts in that first set. But might need to soon as another shot goes too far out of bounds. 10-5, Kit Carson leading this second set. And like I was saying, wouldn't be surprised if this game went to a sweep or if it went to the full 5 sets. As Coach Hill calling the timeout there. Thank you to Eads Consumer Supply for bringing us our timeouts. We're going to take one with them. We are back in 30 seconds here on KVAY. Kit Carson leading the second set against Cheyenne Wells. It is a Monday evening as you're tuning in here on Your Sports Authority, 105.7 KVAY. Thank you for tuning in, be it on the radio or on our YouTube and Facebook pages for live video streaming. Volleyball game here in Kit Carson. Lady Wildcats hosting the visiting Lady Tigers coming from Cheyenne Wells here. Kit Carson leading this second set 10-5, but Cheyenne Wells leading the game 1-0. Let's thank sponsors like Wallace Gas and Oil, Fellowship Credit Union, Cook Oil Company in Walsh, Tavern 1301, and Prowers Medical Center. Thank you to them for sponsoring these sports broadcasts. As we come out of the Eats Consumer Supply timeout, served by Rady on the Cheyenne Wells side. Third hit ball, as that'll be up 4 hits on Cheyenne Wells. As ball there to bump it, but the previous reception just put it right there at the net and just too tough for her to get it over. 11-5, Kit Carson. Dominant in the second set so far, served by Rady. Backward set from the middle. That's Serenity Worley going for the back, and she gets a kill off the hands of Rady. 6-11. Cheyenne Wells cutting the deficit to 5. Substitution as Brindley Heil subbing out for Athena Ball. The freshman Heil coming in for serving purposes today. Already has an ace to her name in this game. Served by Heil. Receive. Rady looking to set up Johnson, going for that backside. Good reception by Worley, but not good enough as a big kill for Johnson. Both these teams, pretty evenly matched here. But right now, Kit Carson leading the second set 12-6. Cheyenne Wells winning the first set 25-18. Here comes third hit. Popped it just over the net by Worley. Now third hit, popping it over there. Johnson on the Cheyenne Wells side. Third hit, number 14, Athena Ball pops it over the blockers. Over and one by Rady. Cheyenne Wells ball. Third hit, looking to slam it down there is Sheeler. Great reception by Rady. Rady, bad set up there by the Kit Carson squad as Rady, wall falling backwards, had to just pop and put a little too much strength in it. Point for Cheyenne Wells, taking a couple in a row. They trail by 5 here in the second set. Reception by Watson. Popping it over in 3 is Johnson, but back on the Cheyenne Wells side as they recover. Off the hands of the blocker. Another big kill for Serenity Worley, having herself a night here. Plenty of kills there. As surfing here will be Callie Ball for the visiting Cheyenne Wells Lady Tigers. Serve from the right side. Received by Kent. Backward set. Oh, but they're calling a little bit of a carry there on Rady once again. Yeah, they're calling Rady a lot on calls today on those carries and run into the net. Normally a very clean player. So, either a little bit of an off day or, just refs calling everything today. Rady over in 2. Back in 1, Rady. Ambitious kill goes out of bounds. And just like that, Cheyenne Wells was down 12-5. Now they're only down 12-10. And substitution. Serve there. Almost an ace. Kit Carson, though, get themselves out of the jam over in 3. Heil setting him number 4. Carroll coming in. Great reception in the back. Third hit, Elizabeth Kent. Left side, going for that left corner. Too strong as Cheyenne Wells only trails by 1 point here in the second set. Let's thank some more sponsors like Golden Plains Insurance, McClave State Bank, and Eads Consumer Supply. Thank you to them for bringing us our timeouts. We're going to take one with Coach Jacobs of Kit Carson as her team were leading by 6 and then dropped that lead to just 1 here in the second set. We're going to take a 30-second break, then we're back on KVAY. Thank you for tuning in. This is a volleyball broadcast coming your way on a Monday night here in Kit Carson. Takes a good bit of getting used to a Monday night volleyball game, but they're always pretty fun. Last week, called that Monday night volleyball game, Kit Carson at Wiley saw them reverse sweep. Haven't called a Cheyenne Wells game since the beginning, and they got a strong showing against a tough South Backa team to start the season off. Right now, though, big kill attempt, but going over the net is Avery Johnson. Just like that, they were down 12-6 in the second set. Cheyenne Wells knots it up 12 points apiece here with Cali ball at the service line as we come out of the Eads Consumer Supply timeout. Ball with the serve received. Here comes third hit. Kent coming in, and that'll be a big kill for number 10, Tressie Golding. 13-12. Cheyenne Wells takes a shallow 1-point lead. As Gaynor come in for Oswald. Served by Watson. Set up. Here comes Sheeler coming in. Pop it over the first blocker on the Kit Carson side. Johnson coming in left side. Received in the back. As, getting caught up in the rafters here in Kit Carson. Yeah, you got to watch out for the roofs everywhere you play. Because, Kit Carson, not that low of a roof. It's just, if you get it stuck up there in the rafters or the fence, you're going to have a very tough time predicting where it goes, or even the basketball hoops. Great dig. Third hit off the top of the net by Johnson. Cheyenne Wells recovers. A little bit of an awkward set, but, yeah, Carroll had to come in awkward. She got a solid enough hit, but just ran into the net. Point for Cheyenne Wells. Point for Kit Carson. And Cheyenne Wells made it 12-12, but Kit Carson 3 in a row here at the service line. Skylar Watson, the sophomore. Serve, received. Cheyenne Wells, third hit. Sheila right there at the middle, dinking it over. Over in 2 by Gaynor. Miscommunication. Nobody went for it on the Cheyenne Wells side as Gaynor just bumps it over. Substitution for the visiting Lady Tigers as Callie Ball go to the bench. Coming in for her will be number 23, Rory Unruh, the freshman. Let's also thank Ace Tire Service, Peacock Funeral Home, and Evergreen Electric LLC for sponsoring these sports broadcasts. As miss hit there by Sheeler, another point for Kit Carson. So Cheyenne Wells, 5 straight points there from 12-7 to 12-12, and then 5 straight points by Kit Carson to make it 17-12 in favor of the home team Lady Wildcats. Head coach Hill of Cheyenne Wells taking a timeout. We're going to take one with her. We're back in 30 seconds here on KVAY. It is a Monday night volleyball game coming your way. I'm your broadcaster, Ethan Smith-Sena, here in Kit Carson. Home team Lady Wildcats losing that first set, 25-18 against the visiting Cheyenne Wells Lady Tigers. Kit Carson then, we're up 12-7 here in the second. Cheyenne Wells came back, made it 12-12. Head coach Jacobs called a timeout. They got 5 straight points. They lead 17-12 here in the second set. Head coach Hill calling a timeout there. Both teams, trying to recoup. Let's see if this pattern continues and see if Cheyenne Wells gets 5 straight. And setting up. Here comes Carroll coming in, but blocking it there. Number 11. What a wonderful block by Kyra Gaynor. Having herself a game with a couple of aces. A kill just a couple minutes ago and a big block there. First successful block of the night for either team. Skylar Watson with the serve on the Cheyenne Wells side. And unable to get it over in 3. Kit Carson feeling the energy here at the school. They lead 19-12 here in the second set. Now they are leading this. Now they are closer to winning the set than Cheyenne Wells is to catching up to where they are now. Cheyenne Wells, Muth, send him number 4, Carroll. Carroll strong kill attempt received by Rady. Rady set up right side, going for that back left corner. Good reception, but not good enough as Shea Rady with a big kill. Let's also thank Bison Title Company, Arc Valley Vision Care, and Scooters Coffee. Thank you to our sponsors. Skylar Watson still at the service line. As it's 8 straight points here for Kit Carson. Watson, serve. Third hit, popping it over. Great dig by Rady. Kent keeps it alive. Johnson coming in. Little strong, though. And Cheyenne Wells, getting a little bit of reprieve off that. As Kit Carson, 8 straight points, was 12-12, but now 20-13. Serving for Cheyenne Wells, Bailey Sheeler. Jump serve there. Popping just on the net. Over in 2 by Johnson. Great reception by Sheeler. Moots then high up. Bumped over in 3 by Carroll. Received by Johnson. Rady setting up Johnson, coming in left side. Blocked, though, by Serenity Worley. Cheyenne Wells still with plenty of fight left. Let's thank some more sponsors like KC Electric, Vince's GM in Burlington, and Keefe Memorial Hospital. Thank you to them for sponsoring this specific sports broadcast. As Bailey Sheila for Cheyenne Wells with the serve, received by Watson. A Kit Carson. Oh, miscommunication as an ace for Cheyenne Wells. 3 straight points. As head coach Jacobs, despite leading by 5 there, calling a timeout as, those few points they gave up to Cheyenne Wells, just, good bit on their fault. But also good work by Cheyenne Wells, letting up 8 straight points, but still having the fight, having the heart, having the desire to keep it on and going. Thank you to Eads Consumer Supply for bringing us all of our time out. We're going to keep it right here, though. Thanks to more sponsors like Gabe Roth, Farm Bureau Insurance Agency, C&K Oil, and Wendy Dickey Insurance Agency. Thank you to them for sponsoring this specific sports broadcast. Appreciate your support. Also, we've got another sports broadcast coming your way tomorrow evening around a 5:30, 6 p.m. start time. Will be Eads at McClave in a High Plains League matchup. I'll have the call for that. That one will be here on the radio and on our YouTube and Facebook, just like today's is. As we come out of the Eads Consumer Supply timeout, Cheyenne Wells leads this game 1-0, but they trail the second set 15-20, trailing by 5. Kit Carson 5 points away from winning the second set. Service error by Sheeler gives Kit Carson their 21st point. Coming to serve, Avery Johnson. Let's thank Cheyenne Wells Lumber, Kent Electric and Kit Carson, and T Cattle Feed and Supply here in Kit Carson. Thank you to them for sponsoring this specific sports broadcast as a big ace there for Avery Johnson. Substitution coming in for Cheyenne Wells. Unruh going to the bench, coming in for Callie Ball. As 22-15, Kit Carson leading the second set. Avery Johnson, strong jump serve. And that'll be back-to-back aces courtesy of Avery Johnson of Kit Carson. 23-15. Looking to knot it up at 1 set apiece. Unless Cheyenne Wells able to score 8 in a row like Kit Carson was here in the second set to really amp them up. As over and 1 received. Johnson setting up number 12, Kent running in. Good kill attempt. Cheyenne Wells, though, barely staying alive. Over and 3 by Ball. Johnson setting up Rady coming in right behind her. Partially blocked, but that'll be a big kill for Shea Rady, assisted by Avery Johnson. It is set point 24-15. Kit Carson leads the second set. Avery Johnson with the serve. Already has 2 aces here at this line of service. Will be 3 as Cheyenne Wells unable to get it over. 25-15, just like that. Guaranteed 4 sets in this matchup. Cheyenne Wells winning the first set 25-18, but Kit Carson winning the second one 25-15. 1 set apiece here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to Peacock Funeral Home for bringing us our in-between sets. Going to take a 1.5 minute break here on KVAY. Back in a minute and a half to bring you the third set. Getting ready to resume our coverage here. The home team Kit Carson Lady Wildcats tying it up 1 set apiece here against the visiting Cheyenne Wells Lady Tigers. Cheyenne Wells winning the first set, 25-18. We're leading about 5-7 points that entire first set and just, never let that lead up. Well, it was tied 12-12 there after Cheyenne Wells got 7 straight points to make it 12-12. But then Kit Carson 8 straight on a rebuttal to make it 20-12. And, that's just a very, very tough deficit to overcome. Kit Carson winning the second set 25-15. Game tied 1 set apiece here. Hey, let's thank Once Was in Kit Carson in the Bin Inn here in Kit Carson. Thank you to them for sponsoring this specific sports broadcast as both teams coming out getting ready to play. Both teams having a bunch of standout moments this game. Starting with the ball will be Cheyenne Wells. Serving for him will be senior Aliyah Muth. I've said it a couple times, but Cheyenne Wells, good bit of an older team, plenty of seniors on the squad, while Kit Carson, primarily sophomores, with just one senior on the whole team. We'll start with Watson, subbing in for Oswald. Hey, let's thank Hoffman Insurance Agency, Garden City Regional Airport, Rancher Supply Lamar and Lahana, and People's Credit Union of Lamar and Springfield for sponsoring these sports broadcasts. Third set officially underway. Game tied 1 set apiece. Kit Carson and Cheyenne Wells. As it will be a point for the home team Wildcats. Getting past the blocker there. Serving here, Avery Johnson. And 2 big aces to end that second set. Now Johnson setting up Brady coming in right behind her. That one just a little out to tie it up 1-1 here. The first 5 or so points, very close, but then after that, we normally see who's going to win at this set just based on after those first 5. Let's thank some more sponsors like Colorado Mills, Cheyenne County Abstract in Cheyenne Wells, and Cook Oil Fuel Services in Walsh. Thank you to our sponsors. Served there by Carroll, received by Watson. Avery Johnson setting up Brady coming in left side. All into the net, though. Will be point for Cheyenne Wells. 2-1. They lead this third set. Game tied 1 set apiece. High Plains League matchup. Both teams looking for their first league win, as High Plains League filled with a bunch of tough opponents. Third hit coming in. Brady. It is blocked there, but goes out of bounds off Cheyenne Wells. Point for Kit Carson as Elizabeth Kent. The freshman at the service line. Serve there, receive. Muth setting up number 14, Callie Ball. Good reception by Golding. There at the net, partially blocked. Good work by Brady to keep it alive. Over in 2 by Johnson, going for that back corner. And she gets it to Cheyenne Wells, unable to dig it out successfully. Another kill for Avery Johnson here. 3-2. Kit Carson leads this third set early on. Let's also thank the historic Cow Palace Inn, Lamar Auto Parts, and Jan & Choose and Mr. D Sports for sponsoring these sports broadcasts. Served by Kent. Up and over in 1. Rady in 2. Strong reception in the back by Sheeler. Muth. Ball on the left side, but getting too much gusto on the jump and just runs into the net. Her feet go over the line by about a foot there. Point for Kit Carson. They lead 4-2 here in the second set. Cheyenne Wells winning that first set. But here in the third set, Kit Carson, riding the momentum of that big second set victory. Third hit by Rady. But, that's about the 4th time they've got her. It's been happening a lot more this game than I've seen in most other games that I've called this year. They're really, both teams pretty often running into that, their feet crossing that bottom line, which is not allowed, as that'll be an ace for Cheyenne Wells to tie it up 4 points apiece at the service line. The senior Serenity Worley having herself a game. Plenty of strong kills to give them that lead that they didn't give up in that first set. Here in the third set, game tied 1 set apiece. Set tied 4 points apiece. Serenity Worley with the serve. Received by Kent. And that'll be an ace for Serenity Worley. Back to back there. Cheyenne Wells takes the 5-4 lead here. Let's also thank Da Vinci Physical Therapy, Brew and Others, and A1 Rental and Sales for sponsoring these sports broadcasts. But it hadn't been happening this game, so I didn't want to bring it up. But, especially, this season, I've noticed a lot of times somebody aces, normally followed up with a service error, which is, something interesting to note. Third hit, Bailey Sheeler, great kill. As able to get there for the dig is Kent, but not able to pop it up high enough. Great kill there for Sheeler. Cheyenne Wells 6-5 here in the third set. Very close in the first 5-6 points. Now let's see. Oh, miscommunication there on the Kit Carson side. Scales might be tipping early here for Cheyenne Wells. 3 straight points. Serve by Athena Ball, and that'll be an ace. 3 aces in the last 5 serves for Cheyenne Wells. As Athena Ball, the senior for the Lady Tigers, at the service line. Let's also thank GN Bank Lamar Needs, Cooks Floor and Wall, and Community Insurance Agency. Thank you to our sponsors as Athena Ball back-to-back aces. 4 aces for the Lady Tigers here. Out of their 9 points in the third set. So Kit Carson, gotta be ready for these serves. As that one, another ace as Watson pulled her hands out of the way because she thought it was going out. I did too. But 5 of Cheyenne Wells' 10 points here in the third set are courtesy of aces. 2 from Serenity Worley, and 3 more are right there. Scoreboard reads 10-5 in favor of Cheyenne Wells here in the third set. Game still tied 1 set apiece. Timeout call by head coach Jacobs to Kit Carson. We'll take one worth, and we're back in 30 here on KVAY. Thank you very much for tuning in this Monday night for some volleyball action. As I am here at Kit Carson bringing you this game. Cheyenne Wells leads 10-5 here in the third set. And another ace there by Athena Ball. 4 in her last 5 serves have been aces, as she just keeps the streak on going. But yeah, the first and second sets really settled, in hindsight after the first 5 points. Whoever led after that won that set. Great little trickery by Rady. Cheyenne Wells keeps it alive, though. Here comes their third hit. Ball right at the net, partially blocked by Golding. Here comes third hit. Sheeler into the net, though. Point for Kit Carson. A much-needed one to try to end Athena Ball's reign of terror there at the service line. Athena Ball going to the bench after, great work there at the service line. 4 aces right there. With subbing in for her is Rory Unruh. Serving for Kit Carson, Shea Rady. Serve on Cheyenne Wells. Muth setting up Worley coming in from the middle. 2 straight points for Kit Carson, as that one's too strong by Worley. Let's thank Tri-County Ford, Coberly Realty, Wallace Gas and Oil, and Fellowship Credit Union. Thank you to our sponsors. Shea Rady with the serve. As almost an ace. Muth over in 3, though. Back and 1 by Rady in the open space. Big kill by Shea Rady. As they only trail by 3 here in the third set now. 8-11 on the scoreboard. Game tied 1 set apiece, though. Served by Rady into the net, though. Service error. Point for the Lady Tigers. They take a 4-point lead. Let's also thank Cook Oil Company in Walsh and Tavern 1301 for sponsoring. At the service line is Callie Ball, the junior, for Cheyenne Wells. As almost an ace. Great work by Rady to keep it alive. Third hit by Carroll. As Rady getting blocked there by Sheeler right at the net. Point for the Lady Tigers. 13-8, they lead this third set. Cheyenne Wells winning the first set, 25-18. Winning the second set was Kit Carson, though, 25-15. As they got 8 straight points to really help them out. Third hit, Johnson tipping it over, but Cheyenne Wells running into the net there. Point for Kit Carson. Has been happening quite a lot tonight on both sides. Tressie Golding, the sophomore for the Lady Wildcats, getting ready at the service line. Serve received by Cheyenne Wells. Popped up by Muth. Third hit just over the net by Worley. Kill attempt by Johnson. Muth over in 3 though on the Kit Carson side. Here comes third hit. Johnson right down the middle. Too strong for that back left corner. Cheyenne Wells, yeah, similar to that first set. Just keeping in that 5-point range of leading the set. As serving here is Bailey Sheeler. Bailey Sheeler with the serve for Cheyenne Wells. That one high up, received by Watson. Third hit, popping it over is Johnson. Received by Unruh. Little miscommunication. Cheyenne Wells, though, weather the storm. Over in 3. Over into 2 by the one-handed by Johnson. Here comes third hit, bumped over on the Kit Carson side. Third hit, Johnson coming in, storming off a hit looked like off the head of Unruh as a big kill for Johnson. Assist by Rady. 14-10 is the score. Kit Carson serving as they trail. As Gaynor coming in for Oswald. Watson with the serve, but is a service error. So keeping that 5-point lead is Cheyenne Wells. Unruh going to the bench. Coming in for is Athena Ball. Currently serving is Aliyah Muth. Serve there. Received. Oh, but that'll be an ace for Muth. Good work there. Let's also thank Prowers Medical Center, Golden Plains Insurance Agency, McClave State Bank, and Eads Consumer Supply for sponsoring these sports broadcasts. 6-point lead here in the third set for Cheyenne Wells. Serve received by Watson. Over in 2, back in 1. Kit Carson scrambling. They get it right. Gaynor bumping it over in 3, just over the net. Cheyenne Wells stays alive. Third hit. Strong attack by Carroll. Too strong, though. Point for Kit Carson as they trail 11-16. Staying on them, but Cheyenne Wells keeping about a 5-point lead, similar to that first set. Avery Johnson, jump serve. And that'll be another ace for Johnson to Kit Carson. Believe her 4th of the day, as it has been an ace parade here in Kit Carson on both sides. Jump serve by Johnson once again. That time received well. Third hit as number 4, Carroll with a strong attack. Great dig by Johnson. Rady bumps it over in 3 on the Cheyenne Wells side. Aliyah Muth backwards set. Popping it over is Worley. Worley back again once again with the kill off the hands of Rady. Back to a 5-point lead. Yeah, every time Kit Carson scores 1, Cheyenne Wells scores another to keep that lead. Kit Carson scores 2, Cheyenne Wells scores 2. Cheyenne Wells staying at that 5-point margin, which, enough of a safety net for him. Right there at the net, there to slam it down was Worley. Kit Carson keeps it alive. There with a big block, Serenity Worley. Another one for her. As 18-12, Cheyenne Wells leads this third set by 6 points. Game is tied 1 set apiece. Head coach Jacobs at Kit Carson calling a timeout. We're going to take one with her. We're back here in 30 seconds here on KVAY. Kit Carson hosting Cheyenne Wells. Wildcats hosting the Tigers in some volleyball action. High Plains League match. Both these teams 0-3 in league play. Looking for a much awaited for first league win of the season. And, both these teams, despite losing records, Cheyenne Wells 7-9, Kit Carson 7-12, neither of these teams are slouches, and both teams have a whole bunch of grit. As we come out of the Eads Consumer Supply timeout, Cheyenne Wells with the serve, back on their side. Third hit, popping it over is Callie Ball. Johnson to Kent, setting up Johnson once again. Too strong. 7-point lead for Cheyenne Wells. They're now closer to winning the set than Kit Carson is to catching up to them. Serve here by Aubrey Carroll from the left side. Received by Johnson. Rady, awkward setup there. Hits it into the net. 20-12. Similar for Kit Carson. That's what Kit Carson was up. It was tied 12-12 in the second set. Kit Carson 8 straight, made it 20-12, then won 25-15. Cheyenne Wells looking to repay the favor on the Kit Carson side. Third hit, Rady coming in, partially blocked, and will be called point for the Cheyenne Wells Lady Tigers. They not blocked. Thought they got a hand on it, but no, just off the net, and Kit Carson thought it was blocked. So point for Cheyenne Wells. Served by Carroll. Received by Rady. Johnson, backward set, setting up Kent as she pops it over on the Cheyenne Wells side. Third hit, able to get past the blocker. Gainer. Good work by Johnson to come in with the one-handed dig, becoming a specialty of hers tonight, but just barely about half a foot out of bounds. Point for Cheyenne Wells, 12-22. They lead the third set. Served by Carroll. Johnson setting up Golding in the back, setting it for that back corner. Pinpoint precision there by Tressie Golding, assisted by Johnson. As now Elizabeth Kent coming to the service line. Kit Carson's got their work cut out for him to try to win this third set. As this game tied one set apiece, but Kit Carson getting ready to serve as they trail this third set 13-22. Hey, let's also thank Ace Tire Service, Peacock Funeral Home, Evergreen Electric, and Bison Tile Company. Kit Carson, Watson reaching a hand for it, couldn't control it. Cheyenne Wells takes a 10-point lead here near the end of this third set. Serenity Worley at the service line. Let's also thank Tri-State Body Shop, Arc Valley Vision Care, and Scooters Coffee. Thank you to our sponsors. As not an ace, wasn't an ace for a second. Good grit. It was all the way back there for Kit Carson, almost getting it out. But 24-13 set point for Cheyenne Wells. Service line, Worley, the senior, with another ace. 3 in a row there to end that set. Serenity Worley having herself one heck of a game. My goodness. So far, both teams trading sets. 25-18, Cheyenne Wells winning the first set. 25-15, Kit Carson winning the second. And 25-13, Cheyenne Wells winning the third here. Cheyenne Wells lead this game 2-1. Currently in between innings. Thank you to our in between innings sponsor, Peacock Funeral Home. Just like a great coach, Peacock Funeral Home understands that every situation is unique. Whether you're planning or facing a loss, their experienced team led by Clay and Cassie will work with you to create a personalized plan honoring your loved one's memory. Visit 209 South 4th Street in Lamar or call 336-2234. Peacock Funeral Home, your trusted partner in times of need. Big thank you to them for sponsoring our in-between sets. Cheyenne Wells leads the game 2-1 here in Kit Carson. Big High Plains League matchup for both of them, looking for their first league win. Going to take a 1-minute break, then back here on KVOI for the fourth and possibly final set. Back in 1 minute. I am your broadcaster for this evening, Ethan Smith-Senna, here at Kit Carson School, bringing you this High Plains League matchup between the home team, Lady Wildcats, and the visiting Lady Tigers, making the short trip from Cheyenne Wells up on over here. Cheyenne Wells leads this game 2-1, winning the first and third sets. Fourth set about to get underway. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you to KC Electric, Vince's GM in Burlington, and Keith Memorial Hospital. Thank you to them for sponsoring this specific sports broadcast. Appreciate your support. And then thank you to you, the viewer/listener, for tuning in, be it on the radio or on our YouTube and Facebook pages for the live video streaming. As we come out of the in-between sets, Avery Johnson will be serving for Kit Carson. game. Getting ready to resume. Johnson, strong jump serve from the right side. Received a little too close to the net there to slam it down. It was Rady. Cheyenne Wells keeps it alive though. Ball over in 3 by Athena Ball. Avery Johnson setting up Rady's coming in, but a big block by Serenity Worley. Believe her third of the night. Worley, man, what a game she's been having. Getting ready to serve Aliyah Muth. Let's also thank Gaybroth Farm Bureau Insurance Agency, C&K Oil, and Wendy Dickey Insurance Agency. Thank you to our sponsors. As third hit, Kent dinks it over the defenders. The blockers, miscommunication. Been happening a couple times on both sides. You know, this game's been kind of like whoever wins the set is the team that made, you know, the less mistakes there and just really, you know, rode the momentum. This has been a very momentum-based game. As, you know, the early momentum has been winning each team that set. As so far, whoever leads after the first 5 points has won that set. It's very close for the first 5 points or so. And then after that, they start going. And it's serving here. Number 12, Elizabeth Kent. Cheyenne Wells over in 3, received by Kent. Now Johnson setting up Golding, coming in left side, going for that back corner, just a little outside. Tied up 2-2 for Cheyenne Wells. Let's also thank Cheyenne Wells Lumber, Kent Electric in Kit Carson, and T Cattle Feed and Supply here in Kit Carson. Thank you to them for sponsoring this specific sports broadcast. And it's been a fun one, but that'll be an ace for the Cheyenne Wells Lady Tigers. It has been a day for aces here, especially for Carol Worley and Athena Ball for the visiting Lady Tigers, while Gaynor, Johnson, and Kent notching a few today for Kit Carson. Third hit, pop it over is Golding. Third hit, Callie Ball comes in, up and over to Watson. Third hit, Rady down the middle, dinks it over. Bump. Third hit, Callie Ball jump, going opposite. Good dig by Watson, but couldn't get it high enough. Point for Cheyenne Wells. They lead 4-2 here in this fourth set. They lead the game 2-1. Let's also thank Once Was in Kit Carson in the Bin Inn here in Kit Carson. Almost another ace. Kent saves them. Rady over in 3. As Aliyah Muth setting up Worley down the middle. Block there. Great recovery by Muth as they hit it in the net twice in a row. Third hit though, Rady into that open space in that back left corner. Shea Rady, an electric player, spark plug for that Kit Carson squad. And Skylar Watson getting subbed out. In comes Ava Oswald at the service line, Kyra Gaynor. Got herself a couple of aces in a row earlier. Served by Gaynor. Had to jinx her, didn't I? Will be a service error on her. Hey, let's thank Hoffman Insurance Agency and Garden City Regional Airport. Thank you to our sponsors. Serve there. Received. But there to pop it on down is Bailey Sheeler. Let's see my predictions right, because, you know, pretty close. First 5 points. And whoever hits 6 points first today has been the winner of that set. Cheyenne Wells leads 6-3 here in the fourth set. Backwards set off target. Point for Cheyenne Wells. 7-3. The visiting Tigers lead by 4 here in the fourth set. Could be the final if they take care of business here. They lead the game 2-1. Let's also thank Rancher Supply Lamar and Lahana, People's Credit Union of Lamar and Springfield, Colorado Mills, and Cheyenne County Abstract and Cheyenne Wells as another ace for Cheyenne Wells, taking an early 5-point lead. And normally when they hit that's been their win condition today. When they hit that 5-point lead, you know, Kit Carson will fight back. But another ace back to back. Serenity Worley, the senior for Cheyenne Wells, having an excellent game. You know, over 5 aces, plenty of kills, plenty of blocks. As down judge talking to the players, making sure lineup's all good to go. Let's also thank Cook Oil Fuel Services in Walsh, the historic Cow Palace Inn, and Lamar Auto Parts. Thank you to our sponsors. As Worley with the serve. Kit Carson over in 2, but they're sharking it at the left side of the net. Callie Ball, who's also had one heck of a game, as Cheyenne Wells taking the early lead here in the fourth set, 10-3. Head coach Jacobs at Kit Carson calling a timeout. We're going to take one with her. We're going to be back in 30 seconds here on KVAY. Getting ready to resume play as we are currently in the timeout. Every single timeout here is brought to you by Eads Consumer Supply. Thank you to them for sponsoring these timeouts. As head coach Jacobs and Kit Carson, calling a much-needed timeout as they trail 2-1 and trail this fourth set 10-3. They were down 3-4 and 6 straight points for the visiting Tigers with 3 aces with Serenity Worley at the line. Hey, let's also thank Jan and Choose and Mr. D Sports, Da Vinci Physical Therapy, and Brew Unto Others for sponsoring these sports broadcasts. Thank you to our sponsors. Sean Wells bumping it over in 3, aiming for the back corner. Watson, bump, set up. Ow, a little bit of an awkward setup. Golding had to come in at a weird angle. Couldn't quite get all of it with the one-handed bump hitting into the net. Point for Cheyenne Wells. And Serenity Worley still at the service line. Serve, receive. Shea Rady off balance, gets it over. Strong hit for the back corner by Carroll. And here comes third hit. Now Tressie Golding with a nice kill. An awkward one, but gets it nonetheless. Yeah, had a weird angle heading in there. And Shea Rady at the service line. The senior been doing very good this game. Once again, both teams 0-3 in league play, but the High Plains League, a very, very tough league. Third hit, Bailey Sheeler, and bouncing off the net, but into the hands of Johnson with the block. Kit Carson looking to build a comeback as they only trail by 6 here early in the fourth set. Rady serve, received by Cheyenne Wells. Here comes third hit, Athena Ball, lefty, going for that back corner. Great stop by Kent, over in 3. Heading for that back corner herself was Rady. Third hit for Cheyenne Wells from the middle. Strong kill attempt, great dig by Rady, and mistiming it there is Golding into the net. Cheyenne Wells, this is where they've been thriving this game, that 5-7, threshold where they lead. They haven't given it up once. I think the lowest they've gotten it was 3, and then it just shoots right back up to 5. Served there by Athena Ball, who got 4 aces in a row, if I'm remembering correctly earlier. But into the net on the service error. She gets subbed out for Rory Unruh. Now serving for Kit Carson is Tressie Golding. Let's thank some more sponsors like A1 Rental and Sales, GN Bank of Lamar Needs, Cooks Floor and Wall, Community Insurance Agency, and Tri-County Ford. Thank you to our sponsors as Kit Carson bumps it over in 3 in that back corner. Cheyenne Wells not getting there in time. Point for Kit Carson, trailing by just 5 here. But, I've been, talking about it quite a bit. Cheyenne Wells, they've been holding, that stronghold at that 5-point margin. But as I say, that will be a big ace for Tressie Golding. Has been a day for the ace here. But let's see if what's been happening this season stays true, where they normally follow with a service error. She does not. Instead, almost another ace. But back and one failed by Johnson right into the net. Cheyenne Wells back up to a 5-point lead. Callie Ball coming to serve. Hey, let's also thank Coberly Realty, Wallace Gas and Oil, Fellowship Credit Union, and Cook Oil Company in Walsh. Thank you to our sponsors. Rady setting up Johnson in that back corner, set up by Rady. Good work there. They trail 9-13 here in the fourth set. Towing the line, trying to stop, to cut that lead down even more. As they cut it down to 4 here at the service line is number 5, Skylar Watson. Is a service error, though, and just like that, Cheyenne Wells back up to their trusty 5-point lead. At the service line, Bailey Sheeler. Let's thank sponsors like Tavern 1301, Prowers Medical Center, Golden Plains Insurance, and McClave State Bank. Up and over in 3 by Kent. Cheyenne Wells has got it. Awkward setup by Muth. Cheyenne Wells unable to get it over. And as Kit Carson, they keep cutting the deficit to 4, but Cheyenne Wells keeps upping it back to 5. Cheyenne Wells leads this game 2-1. Kit Carson trailing in this fourth set 10-14. But that'll be an ace for Avery Johnson to cut the deficit to 3. Kit Carson looking to come back, send it to 5. Let's see if they can get it done. Still about midway through, only down by 3 here, 11-14 in the fourth set of the home team Lady Wildcats. The spirit of the crowd, of their fans, willing them on. Third hit, Aubrey Carroll for the back. A great stop by Golding. Bumped over in 3 by Rady. Great dig by Ball. Over in 3 by Unruh. Johnson setting up Rady on the right side. Off the hands of Sheeler. A big kill for Rady. As this is after, this whole game after Cheyenne Wells has taken a 5-point lead. This is the closest that Kit Carson has ever closed it down. Avery Johnson, strong serve from the right side. Third hit for Sean Wells with a rebuttal, though. Aubrey Carroll. Yeah, the senior hitters for Cheyenne Wells have just really been going to town here. Rory Unruh getting subbed back out for Athena Ball. At the service line, Aliyah Muth. Let's also thank Eads Consumer Supply, Ace Tire Service, Peacock Funeral Home, and Evergreen Electric. Thank you to our sponsors as Muth grabs herself an ace there. Cheyenne Wells bringing the lead back up to 4. Aliyah Muth at the service line. They lead 16-12 here in the 4th and possibly final set if they can finish it off here. Over in 3 just barely by Gaynor. Good work to be there. Third hit. Oh, awkward setup for Carroll there. Runs into the net. Kit Carson, though, staying within that 3 to 4 point margin now. At the service line, number 12, Elizabeth Kent, the freshman, who's been having a standout season for the home team Wildcats. Serve there, received by Cheyenne Wells. Muth setting up into the net, though, by by Worley. Cut the deficit to 2 for Kit Carson. Hey, big thank yous to Casey Electric, Vince's GM in Burlington, and Keefe Memorial Hospital. Thank you to them for sponsoring this specific sports broadcast. Up and over. Nice kill there for Aubrey Carroll. This is about the closest they've been this deep into the game. Sean Wells winning the first set 25-18. Kit Carson winning the second set 25-15. And Sean Wells winning that third set 25-13. Strong kill attempt by Rady, stopped by the Tigers. Third hit, awkward position. Bumping it over is Carroll, but doesn't stay inside. Kit Carson staying down by just 2 here, 15-17 in the 4th set. Substitution as Watson goes to the bench. In comes Ava Oswald. Served by Gaynor. Got a couple of aces earlier in the game. Jump and shot over by Sheeler. Johnson setting up the run and Golding from the right side because they expected Rady from the left. But the little misdirect pass to Golding. Good work there by Johnson with the assist. Kit Carson cut the deficit to just 1 with Gaynor at the service line. Lefty serve, receive. Sean Wells, the Tigers. Ball into the net by Callie Ball, tied up 17 all here. As head coach Hill is Sean Wells now electing to take a timeout. Sean Wells leads the game 2-1. And they had a pretty dominant 5-point lead for a good bit of this 4th set, but Kit Carson has tied it up 17 all. We're going to take a break. We're back in 30 seconds here on KVAY. We are in the 4th set of today's volleyball contest. Thank you for tuning in here on the broadcast, be it on the radio or on our YouTube and Facebook page for live video streaming. This is your Sports Authority, KVAY. As Kit Carson have tied it up 17 all here in the 4th set, while they trail 1-2 against the visiting Sean Wells Tigers. Both teams showing a lot of grit and grind this game this time around. Game back in action. Kyra Gaynor with the serve. Aliyah Muth, reliable setter as always, setting up Athena Ball. Good kill attempt, stopped by Kent. Here comes third hit. Rady coming in by into the net. Cheyenne Wells retakes the lead, 18-17. Let's also thank Gabroth, Farm Bureau Insurance Agency, C&K Oil, and Wendy Dickey Insurance Agency. Appreciate you for sponsoring this specific sports broadcast. Shea Rady backwards set, but yeah, a little bit of a carry. That's the 4th one called on Rady this game. Yeah, because sometimes they do like a little floaty like that one. 19-17. Sean Wells leading by 2. Service error, though, cuts their lead to 1. Let's also thank Cheyenne Wells Lumber, Kent Electric and Kit Carson, and T Cattle Feed and Supply and Kit Carson. Appreciate them for sponsoring this specific game as well. Served by Rady. Cheyenne Wells got ball. Third hit. Carroll coming in. Going for that back corner. Tied up once again. Cheyenne Wells 2 points in a row. Kit Carson with 2 of their own real quick on the response. Shea Rady at the service line. Fourth set tied 19-all. Served by Rady. Receive there. Muth bumped high up. Bumped over in three by Athena Ball, who's been having, a sleeper game tonight. Third hit. Johnson bumping it over. Now Elia Muth setting it up. Sheeler down the middle. Slamming it on down. Big kill for Sheeler on the Muth setup. I believe Muth hitting her 1,000th career assist last week. Congrats to her. A premier setter in the High Plains League. As coming to the service line, Athena Ball, who had three or four straight aces earlier. Kit Carson not allowing an ace that time, or they are allowing an ace as she hit it over but goes out, so unable to send it back over. Point for Cheyenne Wells, getting their 2-point lead once again. Athena Ball here, service line with the lefty. Oh, and what a serve there, my goodness. Had a little bit of a funky setup there, the weird walk-up, but my goodness, it worked for, it was a little staggered, but sent it on the lefty. Perfect snap of the wrist, popping the top of the net and just dropping on down. Wonderful ace. 22-19. Cheyenne Wells leads this fourth set and threatened to win the game here in 4. Going to keep it right here and thank some more sponsors like Once Was in Kit Carson and the Bin Inn in Kit Carson. Thank you to them for sponsoring this specific sports broadcast. Also thank you to Hoffman Insurance Agency, Garden City Regional Airport, Rancher Supply Lamar and Lahana, People's Credit Union of Lamar and Lahana, and Colorado Mills. Thank you to our sponsors. Appreciate their support. Next sports broadcast here on KVAY will be tomorrow around 5:30 or 6 p.m. or so for the start time. High Plains League matchup between Eads and McClave. Going to be a big one tomorrow, so be sure to tune in here on KVAY for that one. But right now, Cheyenne Wells at Kit Carson. Cheyenne Wells leads the fourth set, 22-19, lead the game 2-1. Johnson coming in. Big kill off the hands of Worley. This Kit Carson, no first-hand experience last week calling that Wiley game. We're down 2-0. Came back for the reverse sweep. Athena Ball going to the bench. Comes in the freshman, Rory Unruh. Served there by Johnson. Muth setting up, coming in. Callie Ball on that left side, dinking it over. Johnson ready for it. Johnson now middle. Strong kill attempt by Avery Johnson. Her and Rady looking to bring this game back. 21-22. Kit Carson trails by just 1 point here in the fourth set. By far the closest set on the day. Served by Golding. Muth send him number 22 Sheeler. Dinks it over. Easy reception for Watson. Backward set. A little close to the net. Johnson works it out though. Johnson quick and one though for the big kill. Sharking at the net there. Tied 22-all. Yeah, forcing head coach Hill of Cheyenne Wells to take a timeout. This one will take one with her. Tied 22-all here in the fourth set. Cheyenne Wells leads 2-1, but Kit Carson 3 straight points to tie it up 22-all here in the fourth set. We're back in 30 seconds here on KVAY. Thank you very much for tuning in on a rare Monday night volleyball game. This game could either end within the next couple of minutes or be sent to a fifth set. We'll just have to see. Game tied 22-all as we come out of the Eads Consumer Supply timeout. Serve by Golding for Kit Carson. Muth setting up number 5 Worley into the net, though. One of the few mistakes she's made this game. Kit Carson takes the 23-22 lead. If Kit Carson wins his fourth set, will force a fifth set game. Golding, serve. Received, Carroll, Sheeler. But into the net, though, by Callie Ball. Ace for Golding, set point 24-22. Let's also thank Cheyenne County Abstract and Cheyenne Wells, Cookwell Fuel Services and Walsh, and the historic Cow Palace Center for sponsoring. Golding, serve. Received, Cheyenne Wells. Third hit, off the hands. Great kill by Callie Ball. She keeps Cheyenne Wells alive. 23-24, the Tigers trail. Callie Ball, don't want to jinx her, but she's had quite a few service errors today. Let's see if pressure gets to her, if she clutches up. They set point for Kit Carson. Pops it over. Great serve. Rady setting up Johnson, but there's Sheeler to mess it up. Sheeler bumps it high up. Still here. Fourth hit. Carroll off the hands of the blockers. Over in 3 by Rady. Incredible dig by Callie Ball. Putting in her Saltsworth here. Kill, kill, kill. And it is successful by Aubrey Carroll. And man, Callie Ball was everywhere just now. She got a wonderful serve and saved them about 3 times with crucial digs and setups. As it is 24-24, you know, the deuce rule. You got to win by 2 from here on out. Serve by Ball. Now serve, third hit, Johnson over in 1, back in 1 by Johnson, keeping it alive. Third hit, miscommunication, but they get it over. Johnson over in 2, out of bounds. Match point, Cheyenne Wells. 25-24 on the scoreboard. Callie Ball at the service line, coming in clutch for him here. Match point, Cheyenne Wells looking to get their first league win of the season. Serve. And an ace for Callie Ball. 26-24. Cheyenne Wells takes care of business in 4 here in Kit Carson. Ooh, boy, that was a fun one and an especially exciting 4th set as Kit Carson falls to 7-13 overall, 0-4 in league play. Dropped their 2-game winning streak. While Cheyenne Wells now 8-9 overall, 1-3 in league play. Man, what a fun 4th set that one was. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and then I'm back to bring you the McClave State Bank postgame show. Back in 1 minute. Thank you very much for tuning in this Monday night as we are getting ready for the ending portion of our broadcast. Time for the post-game show presented by McClave State Bank. How important is convenience? Well, what if you didn't have to drive to the bank and wait in line at the drive-thru? McClave State Bank now offering convenient mobile banking and mobile deposit. They offer fast, efficient service and a friendly staff that can handle all your banking needs. McClave State Bank, small enough to serve you well, member FDIC. Big thank you to them for sponsoring our post-game show. Final score, 3-1. Cheyenne Wells gets it done, winning the first set 25-18. Kit Carson winning that second set 25-15, but then Cheyenne Wells come back 25-13 in the third, dominant win. And then Cheyenne Wells leading for most of that 4th set. Then Kit Carson coming back, making it 24-22 in the lead. Then 4 straight points for the visiting Tigers to make it 3-1. Cheyenne Wells takes care of business today. Thank you to McClave State Bank for bringing us our postgame show. Cheyenne Wells now 1-3 in league play. Kit Carson 0-4. Very tough league. The High Plains League, consists of teams like Cheraw, Eads, McClave, and Grenada. A murderer's row of some very high-ranked teams there. But good heart and good work shown from both these teams here. As having a bit of a senior celebration for Shay Rady, the lone senior of Kit Carson, who's been putting in wonderful work in the program for years. But Cheyenne Wells wins 3-1 here in a very, very fun and explosive game. These 4-set games are always fun, especially, Kit Carson, Cheyenne Wells, not too far from each other. Tigers take care of business against the Wildcats. Time to bring you, finally, though, the Golden Plains Insurance MVP. Golden Plains Insurance in Lamar, Springfield, Walsh, Rocky Fort needs, bringing a lifetime of experience to the table when they discuss your farm and ranch insurance needs. They're committed to you, not just some corporation, so they have the freedom and authority to create the perfect policy custom designed for your operation, independent and homegrown just like you. Golden Plains Insurance, prepared for your future. Big thank you to them for sponsoring this MVP segment of the broadcast. First off, looking at the home team, Kit Carson Lady Wildcats. Always Avery Johnson and, Avery Johnson and Shay Rady putting in great work. Oh, and congratulations to Shay Rady as they've got a banner. If you're tuning in on our broadcast, I'm zooming in here. 1,234 assists in her career, Shay Rady. So wonderful work there. They got roses for her. So wonderful celebration for Rady, the sole senior for the Kit Carson volleyball team, who's just always done wonderful work for them. Then also playing great for Kit Carson tonight, Elizabeth Kent, the freshman, putting in a wonderful work. Also putting in good work today, Tressie Golding and Kyra Gaynor, real underrated tonight. Did a real good job as well. But then looking at the Cheyenne Wells Lady Tigers, Aubrey Carroll putting a good game in today. Same with Aliyah Muth. Callie Ball was so clutch in those last 4 points for him. She had a very outstanding game today, especially near the end, to not risk a fourth and final set. But, very fun game there. I think I'm going to give the Golden Plains Insurance MVP, though, to Serenity Worley. Plenty of aces, plenty of blocks, plenty of kills, plenty of digs, whatever you needed. Serenity Worley was there for the Cheyenne Wells Lady Tigers, taking care of business there. She'll win our Golden Plains Insurance MVP. But, emotional here is Shay Rady, hugging everybody here, hitting 1,234 assists on the season. As Kit Carson falls this game, falling to 7-13 overall and 0-4 in league play. While Cheyenne Wells, now 8-9 overall, 1-3 in league play. As yes, this was Kit Carson's last home volleyball game of the season. Their last three all away at Idalia, Eads, and Otis. So last time Shay Rady gracing the Kit Carson faithful with her presence. Calling her for a few years, very good athlete, and deserves the send off for Kit Carson. But final score, Cheyenne Wells takes care of business, 3-1. They're now 8-9 overall. Kit Carson, 7-13 overall. Be sure to tune in here on KVAY tomorrow. Our next broadcast, Eads at McClave, scheduled for about 5:30, 6-ish start time tomorrow. So be sure to look out for that. We'll be here on the radio and on our YouTube and Facebook page once again. Thank you for tuning in. Before I sign off, though, a couple things. Big thank you to all of the following for sponsoring this specific game. Thank you to KC Electric, Vince's GM in Burlington, Keefe Memorial Hospital, Gabe Roth Farm Bureau Insurance Agency, C&K Oil, Wendy Dickey Insurance Agency, Cheyenne Wells Lumber, Kent Electric in Kit Carson, T Cattle Feed and Supply here in Kit Carson, once was in Kit Carson, and the Bin Inn in Kit Carson. Thank you to all of them for sponsoring this specific sports broadcast. For beautiful, little last send-off for Shay Rady in, when it comes to volleyball. So good work here tonight. Final scores, 25-18. Cheyenne Wells wins the first set. Second set, though, Kit Carson brought it back, 25-15. In that third and fourth set, though, Cheyenne Wells winning 25-13 and an electric fourth set, 26-24. Final score, Cheyenne Wells wins in 4 sets. Thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you to you, the viewer/listener. Appreciate you greatly. I couldn't be doing this without you. Also, big shout out to Christy back at the station for board hopping as you're listening to 105.7 FM KVAY. As always, you have a great rest of your night.